Hi, this is Gail and welcome to my channel. Today I have a flip through for you of my Woodland journal. It's rather eclectic and it uses several different digikits and paper packs, and so let's get started. First off, I apologize for the ink on the fingers. I waited a couple of days after the journal was done, tried bleaching and fingernail polish remover. Nothing's really taken it off. It's faded a little bit, but this is from Distress Ink. So, warning. All right, so the cover. The cover on the Woodland journal is birch, and birch bark to be exact. And this is inspired by Nick the Booksmith. She made a cover very similar to this, only far more intricate in terms of the branches and things, which with carving and cutting into the birch just wasn't possible. The birch actually kind of disintegrated. It seemed rather dry and things were sort of flaking off, so did not happen. But anyhow, you can see I have carved out a tree. Underneath is a picture of a forest with the sunlight beaming through. Really loved that picture. And that is not from Nick the Booksmith. That is another source, which right now I can't recall, but if I remember, I'll put it down in the description box, as I will the different digikits and paper packs that I have used. So you can see I have some of the moss here on the tree, a cardinal. Cardinals are very special to me. They remind me of my husband. And you can see squirrel, ferns, little fox, some birds. Okay. So, the birch was adhered to a cloth, a fabric, and then also, here's the binding. Now, this piece is adhered to cloth, which you'll see in a minute on the back. This is actually part of the scarf, but there was just something about it that reminded me of trees and leaves and the forest. So, I thought it would make a perfect cover for on the binding, or the spine, I should say. And then over here we have the fabric that was used. Now, the actual fabric itself is just greens, but what happened, and this is the first time that's ever happened to me, and so I'll share it with you as a warning, the dye from the actual book cover bled through onto the fabric. Now, normally I would gesso if this was a thin fabric, but I thought that there would be no issue. But there was. The other issue I had too was, guess what? Didn't have any eyelets tall enough to go through this book and then crimp on the other side. They would go through, but there wasn't anything left to crimp on the other side. So I've ordered some, and I will redo that when it comes. Now what you're seeing over here is extras that go with this, because this started out not being a chunky monkey until I started adding in some of the things that I made in the Didi Farrago 3 and 15 Don't Freak Out Before Christmas. And I made a lot of woodland things. Well, way too many to fit in, and they were all a little bit bulky, I would have to say, so that didn't help any. So I'll show you this stuff in a few. Okay, so let's go inside. I've bound it with this almost like baker's twine, and I've put some little charms, mushrooms on the ends. Okay, so going inside, this is wallpaper that I used here, and I thought it went well with each of the signatures, the front page, the dashboard, whatever that's called. They are wallpaper. I think wallpaper borders, actually. So, here's the pocket and the wallpaper, very plain with just leaves for the inside. This lovely deer is from a Daphne's Diary book page, magazine page. You can see there on the back, but it was just gorgeous, and I thought, oh, has to go in this journal. Okay, and each of the signatures has a tab and then has a charm. You can see the horns on this one. Okay, loved this border. Okay, then each of the signatures has inside on either the front or the rear cover a take note for writing, and those were gifted to me by Lori of Grammy's Keepsakes. Thank you, Lori. And the wallpaper was also gifted to me by Lori. So, then here, this is parchment, and this is a pocket made from a paint chip. Got that idea from Julie that I've talked about before. And then these little goodies came from a paper pack that I received from my college roommate. She was purging and thought, she knew I would use it. So indeed I did. So this is actually a paint chip. And then I've just added this little pocket to the bottom and this little card. These I made during the Didi Farrago challenge. This is book paper, and it's got a little pocket here. This is from a paper pad. This is a Stamperia forest or woodland pad. And then I love these dimensional butterflies. And then on the back, some of that green painter's paper to write on. And this paper is from a Hackney, and I'll look it up. But anyhow, it'll be in the description. So that bottom pocket and this are from that paper pad. Okay, more of the parchment, little cluster, handmade down here. Of course, I have to get a fairy end sitting on top of the mushroom. And there's another mushroom, and the mushrooms were glossy accented. This paper is from Dot Inspiration Shop, and there are like 2 or 3 woodland ones, and of course, yeah, I got them all. And now I can't say that the backing paper, the backing design is from their digital shop. I used background papers from, I want to say Artie Mays, Tracy Fox, maybe TLC, as well as Dot. So, you know, who knows. And this grungy, lovely paper is from Lori. She had made it, said, oh, it's really grungy, so she passed it on, and I'm like, grunge is perfect for the Woodland Journal. So then I have done some stamping and stenciling. Okay, and then over here, this little pocket contains these cute little postcards, and these are from the Dot Inspiration kit, and then I have printed on the back, and I have tried to keep all of the ephemera relatively, for writing, relatively thin. However, a lot of the handmade stuff just got so bulky, it's really bulked this up. Love these. Some handmade paper that I purchased. You can see the leaves and things inside. Again, from Dot Inspiration. Made this, it's attached with the puzzle paper clips from hell, because they were so tiny. I have learned my lesson. And this is, you open this flap, and you have some little pieces of writing paper. Oh, but keep going, then there's a bigger flap with more, you know, these are just your leftovers from pages that you cut. So, that's kind of fun. Isn't this back pretty? Just love that with the ledger. Okay. Now, oops, helps if you put it right side up to clip it in. There we go. Again, the painter's paper, some more stamping and stenciling. And these are the leaves that I made from some of the alcohol ink waxed paper. And this paper was really fun. It was already a textured paper, and I wadded it up, and then I wet it, and then I rubbed the distress pads over it. Not this one, vintage, probably vintage photo, or one walnut or something. And then it gave this lovely feel to it. And I want to do something really rustic on these pages when I start journaling in here. Okay, and then music paper that's been stenciled and stamped, and the writing was already on it, so that adds a little flair. This, of course, is my large suspended specimen pocket. I did not go ahead and put a tag inside this one because I figured when I start journaling, I'm going to be putting things like that in and wanting to do some more creative things. So I left room to do some fun stuff afterwards. Lovely grunge with stamping and stenciling. 2 more of the little postcards from the kit. And again, the backs. Beautiful. This lovely photo I found, I don't know, it might be from Pinterest. I can't remember, but it's gorgeous. This is some of the Stamperia paper. This was one of those postcard type pieces that I made into a pocket. And then in the pocket I placed this little notepad given to me by Julie. I love the pine cones. This flips up, and this is similar to Yvonne Preston little pad that I've seen her make. Center, just gorgeous paper. Stamperia knows how to do it. And then on the little threads that were left, this is where I got green. I used my distress inks to dye the little trees. They were wooden pieces. Okay, and then here you see that I have used part of my snippet roll that I made. And then I have placed one of the cool tags that I made with the laminator. Now, I can at some point, if I want to, put paper on the back or whatever, but I kind of just like it as a decorative piece, as sort of eye candy. I don't feel like everything that goes in a journal has to be something you can write on. I mean, it's great, but yeah, you know. Okay, so, and this is one of those paper, over-the-top paper clip pads that I made during the DD challenge. Some more parchment paper, and it's a double one, so you get, you know, a couple sheets, and when you use it up, you can just replace it. Okay, another back of the beautiful dot paper. Some more of the adorable postcards. And again, same backing. They all aren't that, I don't think. A little stamping, some stenciling. The other side of the double suspended specimen. The music paper. Now, these are the things that added a lot of bulk. I love them, but using the corrugated cardboard or corrugated board, whatever the proper term is, I'm sure someone will inform me. Anyhow, that's what added the bulk. Loved these papers that were gifted via Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne. And so I turned around and used them to cover up a paper bag, or a bag, in the DD challenge. And this is one of the journaling cards. And these were done on, tracing paper, the cute little tag, little charm, tie, and the back is, on this one I did add, now this is from Autumn Ride, and I'll have to double check. I want to say My Porch Prince, but I'm not positive. I'll double check and put it in the description box. And then a little postcard, and it has leaves, beautiful leaves on the back. Okay, quit chasing that around. Alrighty, see, the bag and that add a lot of bulk. Now, what I want to do at some point, and I have not yet done, is I want to try, I have seen Ingrid Dykers does this thing where she uses wire and buttons or beads along the edge, and I really left this area so I could do that. And I will eventually, and I'll show you when I do. And then this is a fabric flip, and then it's got a teensy little pocket, and it's got those lovely little tickets in it. And that was hanging, but it opened up. What happened? Where's the other half? Well, that's weird. I've never seen that happen before. It's like twisted somehow or another. Well, so I am just gonna hook it on here for right now and leave it there. Here's the paper clip is over here, and this has a secret little journaling card inside. Okay, the painter's paper, another Dots Inspiration, handmade, cute, fulvous whistling duck. Okay, then another grungy paper, two more of the postcards, again, similar back. Okay, more grunge. I'm gonna move faster. I just felt like this was kind of cool to mirror. This is just a fern type sticker, but I thought it was cool to mirror the page somewhat, and this was just something I had in my stash with dried flowers. Thought it fit, and stenciling done on the last page of that signature. Next signature has a cute charm as well, and again the take notes with some stenciling underneath, another pocket from Stamperia, and a couple of tags. This one says Natural Vibes, cute little card, and here this is glossy accented. Got to put a little fairy on it. Simplify. So another journaling card. Beautiful paper. Another little cluster. Stamping, stenciling, Stamperia postcard. Isn't he cute? Oh, the papers are just so adorable from Stamperia. Can't beat them. Okay, snipe. I did not realize that a snipe was an actually real bird because I had been taken on a snipe hunt when I was younger, and that meant that my uncle, my great uncle, my sister, and one of my sister's friends took me out in the woods close to dark, told me to stand there with a gunny sack and beat the ground with a stick and call snipe, snipe, snipe. And they would all come hopping towards me and go in the bag, and they had little pink eyes. Yeah, and I waited and I waited and I did what they said. The snipes never came, and finally I heard my sister laughing off in the distance as they watched and laughed. Yeah, snipe hunt. Not fun. But they really are a bird. They really do exist. So that was kind of fun to find out. Here's another one of the paper clips. And that was glossy accented. Papers. Okay, now here's a double specimen. Suspended. And here's the suspended fox. This one does have the tag inside. Okay. Hackney and Company. Love the Hackney and Company papers. Just can't beat them. Okay, so, and these added some bulk as well, because this is very thick cardstock. So things like that added bulk. Now, this is one of the pockets that we made out of junk mail in the 3 and 15 challenge with Dee Dee. This is one of those old computer cards, you know, Fortran cards, I think they're called. And it's got this sideways pocket. Here's some fox stuff. And you see the fox in the window of the envelope. And this actually has 2 openings in it for stuff. And then this comes out this way, and you can see that adorable fox, which, looks like I forgot to distress. We can't have that. And if I put it away, I guarantee you I will forget. So pardon me for the distressing. What a girl's got to do, what a girl's got to do. Okay, and there it goes. All right, music paper, another little cluster. And behind it, this is that fabric from the scarf. This is a moose, but it didn't stamp very well here because of that wrinkle, I suppose. Another beautiful page from Dot Inspiration. Parchment. Now on the back of this painter's paper, here is another one of the corrugated tags. Stronger Than You Think. Well, acorn. And yes, you can write on the back of those. No problem. So, yeah. Those acorns, though, they're pretty bulky. So I'm going to put that up towards the top. And we're to the center again. This, to me, was the most beautiful page in that pack. And again, this time some big trees for the dangles. I don't know how practical those are going to be as time wears on, if this journal gets a lot of use, but hopefully they'll stay on. I used Fabri-Tac, even though I can't stand the smell of the stuff. Beautiful mushrooms. And there we have, that is just a gorgeous, gorgeous postcard. Even the back is lovely. Grungy, grungy paper. Cute stamp. Now this is, I told people when I made this, this is actually a leaf that came out of, the book that I'm using was Works of Plato, and it was a book that apparently belonged to my grandmother and had been purchased or given to her in 1937, and up in the front cover, and I did make a copy of it, and I am going to insert it inside a front pocket on this, but it had her name, you know, in her handwriting and the year, and inside I found some leaves that had been pressed in the book. I'm assuming by her. So this says best leaf 1937. So, you know, I don't know for a fact that was the year that she put them in the book, but hey, anyhow, so they just hold a little special place to me. And this is the other side of that specimen, suspended specimen. This one was not a double one, apparently, only a one-sided one. So I thought I had to do something with this little flap. This works. Gorgeous paper. Here again is one of those little paper clip over the top thingies on some really fun handmade paper. Here's the tufted titmouse. Isn't he cute? More grunge, more stenciling. And this grungy paper, Lori had apparently put some lace over top, and it picked up some of it. I just love the grunge in this. I think it's perfect for the Woodland Journal. So thank you, Lori. Beautiful. Just added some color here. Another one of my snippet rolls. And then inside I have one of the handmade cards. This is again, as you see, upside down paper, book page. Cute little card from Stamperia Cat. Wonder, the 3D. Just love those to death. And then on the back, yep. So, stenciling on the back of the back page of that signature. So moving right along, here is the last signature with a little squirrel. Another Stamperia card turned into a pocket. And inside is, whoops, here he is, Moose. And this postcard was given to me by Lori. And so, and this came from the Stamperia pack. Silence speaks when words can't. Okay, and another page from Dot. Inspiration. More of my snippet. More of the laminated tags. Grungy paper. Blue Jay. Love this handmade paper. You can really see the leaves in the background. Cute bear. More Stamperia. So this is one of the Stamperia cards. So I attached a little banner, Aprende a ver, which means learn to see. And then this cute little card that I got that has a little bunny on it. Just thought that fit in here and here. And continuing on, over the top flip. This time it's an owl. Suspended specimen tag. Got the tag up in here. Another little glossy accented, and it's paper clip, and it's got the secret journaling spot. Yeah, it says explore. And then now we have some little postcards and inside, or envelopes that say postcard, and inside we have just little tiny cards. I don't know if this one has anything yet. No, this one doesn't. No, this one is actually from a kit by Lorna Taylor. And there's another, and the postcard, this is Dot, and the back. And right now, off the top of my head, I can't remember the name of Lorna's shop, but I will list it below. Okay, last of the corrugated card. This one says Imagine with the adorable fox on tracing paper. Aha, I found a charm that was loose and it came off of this one, so I'll have to put it back on, and I know it's up here somewhere. Okay, I'll get it in a minute and put it back on. Okay, and continuing on, here is the center, the Stamperia page. This was actually like the last page of the paper pad, or the first page, but the cover was connected to it, so like I covered with the green paper. And again, in the center, this time I have little trees. Okay, and this is a little cluster I made. It says Wild at Heart. Another little piece of my snippet. Squirrel. Isn't he cute? And again, you can use these as writing cards. So there really is a lot of space to write in this journal. Cute. Other side of the specimen card. This I made a long time ago out of this mushroom paper. I had forgotten about it, and it's one of these flips that I don't know. Wendy's Journal Adventures had shown them to us, but I think so did Angela Kerr. These I liked because this is Nikki Adigan's. It's a field notes. It's a little card that you can fill in, which I thought was pretty cool. And then it has field record on the other side. So if you were out in the woods and you really did want to jot something down about a plant or an animal or a bug, you really could. This says Flora. I'm not going to pull out that tag. It's the same as the other one. This says Imagination. And again, they all have the field note on them, so pretty cool. But again, that adds bulk to the journal. Another little fabric flip. I thought if I was going to include any more clusters, if they would fabric, they wouldn't add too much bulk. Another one of the leaves cut out of alcoholic on wax paper, and it's also been stamped. Cute squirrel, handmade paper, channel build toucan. We don't have those around here, but hey, it was on the other side of that page. What can I say? The bird page. Okay, so all of these have printing on the back that you could write over top of. These are all from the Dot. Yep. The Dot Shop. Dot Inspiration. Love the owl. This was a bag made into a pocket through the DD challenge. It's also on corrugated board, and don't know if you can really see, but this is a fox. And I just really thought it just was so pale looking. The cardboard just really washed it out, so I added some other pieces to liven it up. It was a really blah card before, tag rather, so I added to it. And again, you can write on the back of those that cardboard is flat on the back. And here again we have one of the paint chip pockets. Sometimes you have to climb a mountain to see the beautiful view. Indeed. And here's one of the book page tags with a pocket. 3D little critters. Well, dragonfly and bee. Cute little tag. And again on the back, you can journal. So, and then back here, this is the take note. End of the last signature. Here we have a pocket, and this has an envelope that I made. This is Edith Holden paper covered with tracing paper that has images printed on it. I believe these are from Artie Mays. And then I've used old buttons and made that so that, there we go, and it opens. I don't have anything in here yet, but you can hear that it's tracing paper. So that is it. That is my whimsical, eclectic Woodland journal. And these are some of the things that would not fit that I thought, well, I'm going to keep these with it and then use them as well. So these were some clusters, and it's hooked, there we go, that I had made, that I just thought ended up being really cool. I also have some fabric that I put aside. It was given to me by the lovely Janet Nash, lovely mushroom fabric that I wanted to use in here. I set it aside until I put my journal all together. And yeah, I set it aside so well, I can't find it. Don't know what I did with it. Okay, and I had made this when I first thought about doing a Woodland journal. And this again is the dot inspiration. Just a little postcard. But this is a little slider squirrel. Woohoo! Up and down the tree. Because isn't that what they do? Just some silk leaves. But yeah, and this is actually from a tag, but I thought it looked so much like birch I had to use it. This is handmade paper from either Brazil, Argentina. I got it in one of those global shops, you know, they carry stuff from everywhere. And so I folded it up into a little booklet with pockets. And I honestly do not know who this is from. Kind of looks like a Tracy Fox or an Artie Mays, but it's been so long now, I do not know, and I apologize for that. These were, back in the day, I'm going to say, well, my grandson is 4 years old, and I made them when I was watching him when he first was born. So, yeah, almost 4 years ago I made these, and this is adding machine paper, and the idea was to take out your paints. It was in one of those Wanderlust classes or life book or whatever, one of those classes. And one of the artists had suggested doing this. And then take out your paints, paint them up with any colors that you want, and then stamp all over them. And I just felt like, so it was a snippet roll that you sent. The only bad thing is that the paints will stick together on the paper, and so I lost a couple of rolls of my snippet because of that. So just be sure you cornstarch them or put some other topping on them so they won't stick. But then I just went and I stamped, and on some there was stenciling. Anyhow, I just thought this would go perfectly in this journal if and when I decide that I want to add to it. So there's that. Gwen Frostick was a Michigan artist, and these are some cards that I had actually gotten from my daughter back in the day. She had put them out to sell them at her garage sale, and I said, no, I want them, they're so cute. So I kept them, and I knew they'd come in handy. This is a handmade tag that I did using just, that wrapping paper, that brown paper you get in packages, using that same technique of wadding it up and wrinkling it, unwadding it, spritzing it a little bit, and then rubbing your distress ink pads over it. And so there's that pocket. Over here there's another one of these library type pockets and tags. Tinier version of a little Gwen Frostick tags. And then this is a different set of stamps. Love those mushroom stamps. And then these are some. And that stamp, see, it didn't do well on this paper either. So something with the center of it isn't, and I use like a little spongy pad whenever I'm stamping to try to get those hard to stamp areas. This is just a little poem that came with the Gwen Frostick. This I had made, and it's just so thick now, and my journal is so thick, I didn't dare put it in, but it's another little flippy. And it has, didn't think that was going to come out. This is just a little envelope. I don't think it even has anything in it. Nope. That is in this pocket. There. And these are all envelopes. And then there's this pocket, which has a little tag. And then, let's see here. Trying to put these back quickly. And then there's this that's sort of a side pocket here with this big, beautiful tag. And this is some of that straw paper that Rachel from Roxy Creations sells. Again, here's another really big, long tag. And this is from packaging, I think, of some sort. Always recycling and reusing. So, that's what's there. And there's one last thing on the back that I want to show you. And the back has this little corner piece, which Carol from Oak House Journals taught how to make this little flippy outy piece. I'm sure others have too. Has a magnet in it. So that's kind of cool. It unfolds for journaling. So now I'm finally done. And I apologize for taking up so much of your time. But I do want to say that this was so much fun to make. It really was sheer joy because I just played and did whatever I felt like doing with this. So, pretty cool. Lots of fun. So, I hope that this has inspired you to go out and make something. Go out and have some fun and play. Make a journal or some ephemera, or do something fun today. Alrighty, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.